Hello and welcome into another edition to my CD pickup series. Yeah, let's get stuck in. The first part here is going to be like a little encore of my charity shop special. Got two CDs from the charity shops in the last week, so yeah, let's show them off first. The first album I'm going to show off is this one here. It is a Dilated Peoples with Neighborhood Watch. This came out in 2004, and it's their third album. I always knew who these guys were, but I never heard any music at all. But when I saw this, I thought I'd give it a go. I thought it was a good album. I thought it was a pretty good album. It's got pretty good beats on it. I know The Alchemist did some of the beats on here. What really it made a very good impression on me with the song Marathon. I thought that was a really dope way to start the album. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Even though I have heard that this is like one of their weaker albums and things like that. So maybe I should check out some of their other stuff too. But yeah, thought it was pretty good. Other songs that I like are Caffeine. And there's a few other pretty good ones too. I've only listened to it once, so I can't give very in-depth impressions of it. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, Neighborhood Watch by Dilated Peoples came out in 2004. Yeah, check out some of their other stuff. Next up is not really a hip hop album, but I'll show it anyway. It is Lauryn Hill with the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This came out in 1998. Of course, there's definitely hip hop elements in here, and she does rap somewhat. But it is, I would say mostly soul slash R&B stuff with a little bit of reggae mixed in on one of the songs. Yeah, everyone probably knows Lauryn Hill, most well known for being with the Fugees and all that. And then she put out this solo album in '98, and then afterwards she pretty much disappeared. But yeah, I do like this album. I think it's pretty good. It's not really my cup of tea, but it's a good album. Definitely, she's obviously very talented, and the production really works well for her. And my main problem though with this album is just that it's way, 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 way too long. It is like 77 minutes, and that's just way too long for an album like this, especially when a lot of the songs have like similar subject matter and things like that. Yeah, for me, 77 minutes is just way too long. A lot of the songs are about love and stuff like that, and they even have these interludes in between the songs in like a classroom when they're like being taught about the lessons of love and all this kind of stuff. And like it just dragged for me personally, but I still thought it was a very good album nonetheless. So yeah, not really my cup of tea, but I respect it, and definitely worth getting for a pound. So yeah, that is the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Came out in 1998. Next up, this is just miscellaneous stuff that was really cheap online that I've been meaning to get for a while, but just didn't have not until now. So here we go. The first one is Dr. Dre presents The Aftermath. This came out in 1996. This is basically a compilation. This is the first release that come out on Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's new label at the time, Aftermath. Basically, it's like a mix of rap slash hip hop and R&B, basically. And yeah, I actually think this would be a really dope compilation, and people would respect it a lot more if the basically if it was all hip hop rather than this R&B hip hop hybrid. You know what I mean? I think people just weren't. They were kind of shocked and didn't really understand why Dr. Dre was going in this weird R&B direction. But I do think the actual hip hop songs on here are very dope. I like Dr. Dre's Been There, Done That. There's a song called East Coast West Coast Killers by a group called Group Therapy. It was just a one-off project group name, consistent of RBX, Nas, Be Real, and KRS-One. And yeah, that would have been cool if they actually put out an album or something, but I guess it wasn't to be. But yeah, some of our really good songs in here. King T's on here. King T was supposed to put out an album in '98 called Thy Kingdom Come, and it actually got shelved, unfortunately. It's actually a pretty good album. It's actually a very good album. It's a shame that it didn't come out officially because King T's really dope, and that's actually a dope album. But I guess it just wasn't to be. And yeah, I enjoyed this overall. I thought like. Yeah, not a big fan of the R&B tracks for the most part, but the beats are good. At this time, Dr. Dre had a really good group of in-house producers. He's got himself, obviously, Dr. Dre. He's got Mailman. He's got Budda, who just came off doing the West Side Connection Bow Down album, which has some of my favorite production ever on it. and he has Krista Glove Taylor. So you know he actually had a really group dope group of producers on here. Yeah, so that's that really. Like I say, I think it would be better received if it was more hip hop on here. But I think it's an interesting oddity. You know what I mean? It's like an interesting thing to take a look back on because it gives you a glimpse into an aftermath that we actually never really got because most of the artists on here didn't release jack shit. Um, so yeah, apart from Dr. Dre himself, of course. But yeah, everyone else on here either got dropped or just disappeared. So yeah, but that's that. Dr. Dre presents the aftermath. This came out in '96. Next up, we have Dr. Dre's second album, Dr. Dre 2001, aka Chronic 2001, because of course this album was supposed to be called Chronic 2000, but Suge Knight thought it would be a really brilliant idea to call his Death Row compilation Chronic 2000. And yeah, Dr. Dre was just like, well, I'm going to make it 2001 and future proof it. Of course, this album actually came out in '99. This didn't come out in 2001. Yeah, really good album. I think it's a fantastic album, actually. I love pretty much the whole thing from top to bottom. Songs like The Watcher, Big Egos, Bang Bang, really dope stuff. Of course, with Dr. Dre albums, he has a lot of features. He's got, you know, people that you would expect in here, like Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Nate Dogg, Corrupt, MC Ren, King T, you know, people like that. But well, you wouldn't really expect King T. But the reason why I'm saying it, he was signed the Aftermath at around that time. So, um, but he's also got a guy who's featured on here a lot called Hitman, who was supposed to be like Dr. Dre's protege at the time, but he kind of disappeared and got dropped, and nothing really happened with him. At the end of the Forgot About Dre music video, you get like a minute glimpse of him performing the song Last Days, and I actually quite liked him. I think Hitman was pretty cool, but he just wasn't a star, you know what I mean? He didn't stand out like the way Snoop Dogg did on the Chronic, you know. But yeah, very good album. The only thing I don't like is the Pause for Porno skit. I just think that's terrible and shouldn't be on there. It's just dumb and stupid. But yeah, really love this album. It's excellent stuff. This is the Dr. Dre that I like. Compton, not so much. So yeah, Dr. Dre 2001. This came out in 1999. Good stuff. Speaking of 1999, here's another 1999 album. It is DMX with and Then There Was X. This is his third album. Really good stuff. This album is a little bit more commercial sounding compared to his first two, which were like really dark, like borderline horrorcore at times albums, you know. But this album, you know, it's a bit more commercial. You know, he's got very pop, you know, songs on here like "Party Up" and "What These Bitches Want." But you know, back then, you could actually do commercial songs and still have them be kind of dope. You know what I mean? It's something that is lost in today's music. You know, unfortunately. My favorite song on here is "One More Road to Cross." What an awesome way to start off the album. Love it. Yeah, really good album. Yeah, I miss DMX, you know what I mean? I miss DMX in these days, you know. Sad what happened to him, but yeah, really, very good album, DMX, and then there was X that came out in 1999, and then I also got his next one, which came out in 2001. It is The Great Depression, his fourth album. Having revisited this just earlier on today, I think this album is very underrated. Usually when people talk about DMX, they talk about the first three, and that's fair enough. But I think this album should be talked alongside that, you know, with those, because I think it's a really good album. The first half is fantastic in my opinion. You know, with songs like "Who We Be" and "We Right Here," which were the two main singles. Those got quite a lot of play back in the day. I remember seeing those music videos. My favorite song on here was "Shorty Was the Bomb." Love that. Damien Free, really dope as well. And the second half of the album is good. It's just not as good as the first half, but I think this is a really good album. I think it's slept on, and people should give it more of a chance. And yeah, if you want to see a really dope DMX video, check out my man Mike Sears. He talks about the first four DMX albums. Definitely check that out. But yeah, DMX, The Great Depression, great stuff. Very underrated. This came out in 2001. Next up, this is everyone's favorite rapper, and you never hear anything bad about this guy whatsoever. It is Rick Ross of Black Market. Of course, I'm taking the piss. This is the deluxe edition, which adds 3 extra songs. Most importantly, the song "Money Dance," which I think is really dope. Out of all the Rick Ross albums I own and all of the ones I've heard, this is my favorite. I think this is a really good album. I know a lot of people like Teflon Don the most, but this for me is my kind of Rick Ross. Really smooth beats, and he just rides them so well. I really like this album. Songs like "One of Us" featuring Nas, really good. Silk Road, dope as well. Even songs like "Peace Sign," like I think the lyrics are a little bit cringy. I wish that subject matter was handled with a bit more finesse, but still, I like that song. You know what I mean? I like the vibe behind it. The only song that I think sucks majorly is the song "Dope" with Future. Oh, horrible. But apart from that, I do like this album quite a bit. So yeah, I know people hate Rick Ross. Fair enough, but I like him. So yeah, this is my favorite album that I've heard by him so far. This is his second most recent album. This came out in 2015. So yeah, Black Market, Rick Ross, good stuff. Then next up, just some miscellaneous. Well, the Rick Ross one is also counting as just miscellaneous new stuff that I picked up recently. Also, I got Method Man and Redman, the Blackout album. This came out in 1999. I know I've seen pictures of this, with like a smoky case. I guess that's like it's either like an original copy from 99, or maybe that's just like an American thing, because sometimes in Europe they don't do those extra bells and whistles over here, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought this was a very good album. A lot of people call this album classic. I don't think it's quite that good, but I still think it's very good. You can tell that both Method Man and Redman are having a lot of fun on this album, and they're just showing off their skills on every song. Really good stuff, and the beats were mostly handled by Eric Sermon, but you got some beats from the RZA as well, and Rockwilder. I kind of wish it was kind of 50-50 between like RZA beats and Eric Sermon beats. I think that would be really dope. So you would have like sort of half and half, kind of like a Def Squad side and like a Wu Tang side or something. I don't know. I think that would have been cool. But anyway, my favorite song in here is the song "Serial Killer." I love that song. Really good. And I like a lot of other tracks too, like the Rockwilder, of course, which was the main single. Everyone knows that. Tear It Off, Mikasa. Yeah, plenty of good songs in here. Yeah, good stuff. Method Man, Redman, Blackout came out in 1999. I've never really heard anything from Blackout 2. I've heard nothing but bad things about Blackout 2. I did hear one song and it was pretty good, but maybe that was a one song wonder. Maybe the rest of it sucks. I don't know. Next up, I'm going to show off a group. People are going to be surprised that I've never really got into this group before, but yeah, I'll show it off anyway. It is A Tribe Called Quest with People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm. Yep, this is their first album, came out in 1990. There are two main reasons why I was kind of slow to get into A Tribe Called Quest. Number one, like well over a year and a half ago now, I got Black Sheep's first album, A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, and I really don't like that album at all. To be honest, I know people love it, but I just couldn't get into it. I thought it was very boring and stuff, and that kind of put me off, checking out other native tongue stuff. I kind of slowed down my interest. But the other thing that put me off was the song "Can I Kick It," which of course is on this album. I just don't. I just don't hear what's so good about that song. I just don't. I just can't get into it. I don't really like it that much. It's like really obvious sample, that Lou Reed sample, and it's just like they don't really do anything. They don't flip it in an interesting way. It's just I don't know. That song is very little for me. I just can't get into it. But nevertheless, the frame rate's getting a bit slow here for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, A Tribe Called Quest with People's Instinctive Travels in the Path of Rhythm. I haven't heard the whole album. I do like it quite a bit. I think it's very good. I've listened to it 3 times and I need to listen to it more, but I really liked it. My favorite tracks on here would be "Description of a Fool." That's one of my favorites. The last song. Youthful Expression is dope as well, and a couple of other ones. I left my wallet in Segundo. Sorry. Yeah, dope stuff. But yeah, Can I Kick It still doesn't do much for me. I'm sorry to say. I know people will hate me for that, but that's just my opinion. I still think it's a dope album, and I need to listen to more of their stuff, obviously, and listen to this one more times. But I'm glad that I'm finally getting into A Tribe Called Quest. So yeah, I know people are going to be flipping out. It's like, wow, you never listened to that. It's like, yeah, no, it's crazy. But yeah, that's their first album, came out in 1990. And then next up is like the only like rare out of print thing, and I'm really happy to have it. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of this artist, and this is a pretty hard album to get. It is E40 with Federal. The original version of it came out in 1993. Um, the reason why this is special in the mid 90s when Jive signed E40, they put out his first album out again. They re-released it with a different cover. It was like white, and this picture here is like smaller and stuff. That's kind of whack on its own, but that wasn't the reason why I wanted to get this version. The reason why I wanted to get this version was because they actually took 3 songs off, and that sucks. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it was like I had Federal, but I didn't have it at the same time. I felt like I wasn't getting the full experience. And on top of that, there were actually 2 beats that were kind of changed as well. They had to alter some of the beats, for sample clearances reasons as well. So yeah, that was kind of a shame, but I'm really happy to have this version. It's a lot rarer and it goes for a decent amount of money online, but I'm glad to have it. There's no track listing on the back of this version, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, apart from that, I'm really happy to have this. My favorite song on the album, it's a toss up between the title track Federal and the song Nothing Ass Nigga, which is really good. And that's one of the songs that they messed around with the beat. But I actually like both versions because the beat's pretty much the same on the Jive version, but it's just there's a sample of a woman's like singing that they had to take out. So that's like the only real difference. It's slightly different apart, just slightly different overall, but it's pretty much the same song. Yeah, and I really like the song "Get 'Em Up" as well, which wasn't on the Jive reissue. So yeah, dope stuff. E40 Federal came out in 1993, and that's it. That's the end of my new pickups video. Sorry for the lighting's kind of been weird. The sun's going up and down and all sorts. So obviously the sun's not going up and down. It's just a joke. Yeah, but. Thank you very much for watching as always. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.